Hello everyone and welcome to one of the most exciting days of the year for me. It is time to listen to whatever it is that Portugal has decided to give us for Eurovision in 2024 for the first time. I always look forward to this, I've grown more and more just intrigued every year as of late to listen to what Portugal has to offer. Last year I had a blast with Festival da Canção. I haven't kept up with it this year. I'll have to look at it after listening to the winner today, because I want to make this kind of genuine first impression video that I want to have for the country that is so special to me, or has grown to be so special to me in Eurovision. They have picked their song for Eurovision 2024. They did it so through Festival da Canção as always. This is the winner. It's called Grito by Iolanda. And I'm just gonna stop talking because I can't wait to really get into this song and listen to what it sounds like. So yeah, let's go. It's quite the opening. Goes for an all-out a cappella opening. It's daring. Definitely sets the tone though. Alright. Ooh, that's a wonderful thing in picking, truly. Very authentic tone to it. The vocal is very overpowering so far. In a very intimate way. It's a great intimacy in this opening. It's just all the instrumental inputs are so drowned out. It's very neat. It becomes a very smooth and a lot of substance within this opening. Contrasting rhythms, quite neat how the percussion is laid, so it's a very distinct sound to it, but everything is kind of muffled into one at the back. The vocals definitely become the kind of beacon in the middle of everything. There's a strong feedback on this. Establishing rhythm by using delay is effective there. It's a unique sound design as well. I'm quite fond of just the approach they've taken in creating the soundstage here. There's a lot of panning going on as well, of course. The vocal arrangement is certainly something. I feel like that's really the central point of it all. Might just all be a little bit all cluttered in the mix. It doesn't feel as crisp as I probably would have liked it to be. Melodically, it's definitely up my alley. Soundscape-wise as well. It's definitely something that just relies on its atmosphere. The ambiance is established nicely. Really throwing in the piano here to be the core instrumental input. Still got a lot of brewing pads at the back. That's raw. You would have expected it to really elevate there, but they hold it back even more. That's definitely a hook that will stick, regardless of just the subtle approach to it. It's certainly memorable. I would have honestly expected definitely a final chorus in there, but that took me for a little bit of a surprise. That's kind of neat, isn't it? Difficult to make up my mind instantly like this. I'm very much a fan of just the overall melodic approach they've taken here. It's certainly a melody that will stick to me. I think the chorus has a lot of drive and power to it, and I think the vocal sound really just enhances that. I think there's a great contrast between this very hollow, bright, emotionally loaded vocal delivery, along with this rather kind of bombastic instrumental that I think it really has. It's almost to the point where the instrumental is kind of fighting against itself. I feel at certain parts, especially in the choruses, it's very loud and a lot of the sounds kind of cluster into one. I think that the pads and kind of these synth strings or just string inputs, they kind of become one, and you don't really feel like there's a clear divide between certain instrumental inputs in here. And I don't really think that's necessarily an issue or anything. It's just maybe that the clarity of the track actually kind of is getting a little bit held back due to how wide everything is. Sorry. Got something stuck in my throat. No, but like everything is very wide. It's definitely something that's scaled up to a very expansive level. The panning certainly goes hand in hand with that. There's a lot of things going on everywhere around the soundstage. If you put on your headphones, and you can feel like the sound inputs really coming in everywhere, and that's a really nice touch. I think that they've definitely balanced that part of it out very nicely, so that not everything is fighting for the same place within the actual area of the soundstage. However, I feel like the frequencies may clash just a little bit here and there because of just instrumental inputs fighting for the same kind of sound space, I guess, within the track. I think the vocal contrasts that very nicely though, because the vocal feels very, very clear and distinct within this track. It's just that the instrumental becomes a little bit much of the same kind of approach. I would have probably liked for just maybe not go so expansive, maybe tone that side of things down a little bit, and actually rely on distinct, clear sounds that actually just build up a more lively soundstage. Because right now it feels very grand, it feels very much like it's moving a lot, but it also feels like there's quite a sluggish tone to it. It's very kind of just thick, I guess, the overall delivery of everything. It feels almost to the point where it's about to burst. And that could just hold it back slightly for me in just the audio experience of it. I know for a fact that you won't really think of it when you see it live, so I don't think it's really an issue. I'm looking forward to seeing how it actually looks live, but right now as a studio cut, I want to be fair, and I actually think that the production quality of it is not quite there. It's very much something that has a reliance or has an approach that it wants to be distinct at times. I think the percussive arrangement is very restrained and minimalistic, but also has a very distinct sound to it. And that's part of the things where I feel like here they're trying to go all the way with it, but other instrumental inputs are kind of contrasting that very reliance on clarity, and instead goes for more of a wide and thick soundscape, really. It's very lush, but almost to the point where I feel like it's overly lush, I guess. And you can really make up your own mind of what you prefer of that or not, but to me, I would have probably just liked to thin it out a little bit, really highlight certain instrumental inputs, just like you do with the vocals, because the vocals are definitely like the light or the beacon and everything here going on, and then the instrumental is just whirling around it in very much a thick layer, I think. And maybe just a little bit more clarity could have balanced that out a bit nicer, and I would have probably enjoyed it even more. As it is now, though, it's definitely something that I admire. I think I'm returning to it for sure. Melodically, as I said, it's gorgeous. I think the vocal delivery is stunning as well. It's certainly something that will be on repeat in my playlist as well. I just think that maybe there's a little bit of polish work to be done with it. Don't take it as like a negative thing or anything like that. It's just something that I kind of interested me when I listened to it. It could absolutely be just the approach that they want to take, and then I'm all for that. I would still listen to it, no doubt, and I still enjoyed it very much. It's just one of these things that maybe that would have been like my nitpicking area, I guess. But overall, the song flows well. I think the opening is gorgeous with this acoustic instrument, like the acoustic guitar finger-picking arrangement that it opens with. It sounds very authentic. It also has this natural sound to it. A lot of substance within everything as well. It's just as the song kind of progresses, we fade away from that whole aspect. The finale, or the final part of the song, of course, was more towards the piano arrangement. So that's quite kind of a nice touch, how you switch instrumental core throughout the song. The vocal still, of course, being the very constant thing, because I mean the whole song opens with solely a vocal. Maybe that could have been a nice touch to tie the bow with as well, to just have like an a cappella outro as well. Who knows? But as it stands, I mean, it's definitely something that intrigued me. I think the opening of how the instruments really join in at the very first part of the song, that's really, really gorgeous. And it's beautifully written, truly. I'm definitely returning to it. I did enjoy it. Portugal is, of course, in with a streak of just sending good stuff, you know. And this is another one in the bunch. And I'm looking forward to seeing how this one's going to look in May. I'm also looking forward to seeing how it looked now a few weeks ago when the final was held. But yeah, very enjoyable. We'll return to it. Please let me know what you think of this song as well in the comments, because I'm obviously, as always, very intrigued to hear what you have to say about Portugal. And maybe there were some other favorites of yours in the selection. Let me know which ones I should check out. I will listen to all of them, but maybe some that you would highlight for me to pay extra much attention to. I think this one was probably, though, surely a worthy winner without knowing the competition, but it definitely sounds like something that belongs in Eurovision, and I'm happy to have it in the selection. Just my 2 cents. Please let me know what you think of the song in the comments, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again very soon, hopefully. So have a great one until then, and thank you for watching today's video. Bye for now.